Due to the graphic nature of this program, viewer discretion is advised.
Get him on IV fluid.
Milwaukee Emergency Center for Animals Television is brought to you by Animal Fairy Charities, a premier organization focusing on animal welfare while teaching compassion to young children.
Well Balanced Dog, your premier canine nosework instructor and trainer.
And Camp Bow Wow, premier doggy day and overnight camps.
So this is a box turtle. An actual box turtle is a turtle with a hinge on it. So if you notice, this is the little hinge that closes his head and front part of the body, and then this back part of the shell will close off the tail and the back legs. So they're kind of cute turtles. They're usually pretty nice turtles. Their living conditions are very special, especially in winter, because we live in Wisconsin. So like all of the reptiles and all of the creatures, actually, living in Wisconsin is a challenge because of heat support. And they're used to climates that are hot all the time. So that's why if we keep them in their required temperature, that's a POTZ, that's their preferred optimal temperature zone, the POTZ. If we keep them in that, guess what? That's half of the battle of being able to live in an environment and creating the husbandry that they require. This is a very healthy turtle because one of our techs from here has taken this turtle who was very, very, very sick and small when she first got him. But this is a healthy turtle. Well, you need conditions. So you need an aquarium, about a 20 to 30 gallon aquarium. You need to keep on the bottom of the aquarium, the substrate is either going to be AstroTurf, which is a fake grass, and you can buy that at a carpet store. Just measure the size of the bottom of the cage and buy several slabs of outside carpeting or AstroTurf fake carpeting. And then you can keep one that you clean outside in the garage with your hose and then replace it a couple times a week when the animal defecates or urinates on the AstroTurf. To keep their temperatures right, at one end of the cage, especially in winter, you're going to need two different light sources. One light source is a long light source, and that's going to keep the temperature at one end of the cage at a basking temperature. So basking means for this box turtle or turtles, it's going to be around 85 to 90 degrees or 85 to 100. So that's the basking light. Then the other light that's kept with the basking light that keeps on 12 hours a day is the UV light. It gives out A and B light so that it's like getting sunlight. You can't get it through the window. So a lot of people think by putting your turtle by the window, the window will always shield out UV light. And you have to change that light source every 6 months, because even though the bulb will shine, it only portrays the UV light for 6 months. The best source is the ZooMed light, which is used by zoos. On the other side of the cage you should have a light that will make the temperature between 70 and 80 degrees. So that's during the daytime. At the nighttime, you'll buy a special red light that you can get from Ace Hardware or any hardware store. That is a 40-watt bulb that'll keep the temperature at nighttime when you turn off all your other light sources to maintain between 75 and 80 degrees. The food source for this guy is a majority of the food is going to be vegetables. So about 40% of their diet should be dark green leafy vegetables. Anything dark green, kale, collard greens, turnip greens, parsley. And then the rest of the 40% should be anything like corn and beans and any other type of vegetables. And then 10% fruits, any type of fruits. And then the other 10% can be mealworms, crickets, or some kind of cooked eggs, boiled eggs, some kind of protein source. And then you should provide a water bowl so that they can stay hydrated, well hydrated, keeping their humidity at about 60%. And that's how to keep a very healthy box turtle, which, oh, by the way, will live about 50, 60 years. So that's what's cool about them. So here's a corn snake who's also quite active. They make very nice pets too. As you see, their tongue is coming out. They sense a lot with their tongue, so they use it for determining their environment and smell. We always try to tell people to feed dead prey, because then it's nice to keep in your freezer, and then you dangle it in a cage and they learn how to eat frozen prey. The reason frozen prey is so great is, first of all, it's not going to have any parasites, so they're going to be less likely to get infections because you don't know what the pet shop is selling you. Second of all, you're going to have a ready supply in your freezer. And then third of all, if your snake is not hungry and you just put the rat in and then you walk away, sometimes it's very common for rats to start eating on the snake itself. And I've seen rats devour like half of the snake's body just by eating away at the muscle. And if they're so lethargic and weak and sick, they actually don't move, so they actually will let the rat eat their whole body, or part of their body at least, until the people come home and find them eaten. That is not in a classically healthy snake. A healthy snake would never allow a rat to do that, but some people don't realize. So they need to be kept at around 80 to 90 degrees during the daytime with a basking light. They don't need a UV source because they eat their prey whole. So they eat the whole rat, the bones and everything. So they don't need a UV light. All they need is a basking light, and then they need a red light, the infrared light at night, 40 watt, to keep the temperature of the cage at between 70 and 80. Very common mistake for people to think, oh, well, our temperature is normally 70. Well, nobody lives with a temperature in their house at 75 to 80 unless you are going to pay an electric bill of $300 a month. So most people don't live at nighttime at that degrees, so it's best to keep a red light at night. And as long as you keep on the bottom, the substrate should be AstroTurf, which is the fake grass, and then the temperature requirements, and then feeding dead prey. And these guys are super easy to take care of. They should have a big water bowl so that they can sit in the water bowl and soak water up. And this is, again, a corn snake, which are very friendly and fun to keep.
Milwaukee Emergency Center for Animals Television is brought to you by Animal Fairy Charities, a premier organization focusing on animal welfare while teaching compassion to young children through education, experience, and leadership.
Well Balanced Dog, your premier canine nose work instructor and trainer. And Camp Bow Wow, premier doggy day and overnight camps. And now, a word from our sponsors.
Canine Nose Work is a dog sport. This new exciting activity for dogs is designed to develop their natural scenting abilities by using their curiosity, desire to hunt, and their love of toys and food. Canine Nose Work teaches a dog to use their nose to find a specific scent and then tell you they found it. It's like watching a police dog work, but it's your dog having the fun. Any dog can do it, and they build confidence and solve problems, all while burning lots of mental and physical energy. Get your dog involved. Call Well Balanced Dog or visit dogwellbalance.com.
For over a decade, Fetch Magazine has examined the unique bond humans have with their canine companions by publishing popular dog-related topics. With a strong commitment to dogs in need, Fetch also prints local adoptables in each issue, supplies affordable advertising to businesses, and gives rescues 30% off of ads. This year, Fetch is offering $15 subscriptions for your convenience. For more information, visit www.fetchmag.com or pick up your free copy at a local pet establishment near you. Go Fetch!
Boarding, grooming, training, and more. When it comes to your pet, Animal Motel is their home away from home. At Animal Motel, we offer a top-of-the-line facility with boarding suites for both dogs and cats, outdoor play yard, a training hall, and so much more. Whether they're here for obedience training, grooming, or an extended stay, we promise your dog and cat will be part of our family. Animal Motel, personalized care for your precious pet.
So I looked Luna over and I see what you brought her in for, that discharge coming out of the back end by her vulva. How many days has she had that?
It's been about 2 days now.
2 days, okay. Unfortunately, since she's got a discharge coming out of her vulva, she just had kittens, I think she has an infection, and the most likely infection that she has is a pyometra. Luna's in a tough predicament because she's a purebred breeder show cat. Of course, you wanted to try to save the uterus and, you know, for future breeding and things like that. And we tried to do that. Unfortunately, she just got an infection. You've got a couple of options. Number one, if you want to try to keep her as a breeding animal still, we could do antibiotics. And then the second thing would be we just go in and do an exploratory and remove that uterus. Regardless of which procedure we do, because we're going to put her on some stronger antibiotics, it's probably best to wean the kittens a little earlier. Okay, the good news is that they were able to nurse when she had her colostrum and for the first 2 weeks, so that's really good. But because we'll probably have to put her on some stronger antibiotics, I'd get some kitten milk replacer.
I'd just rather get it over with and go ahead with the spay. I just don't want her to be at any more risk than she has to be. So.
Okay, so you want to do everything here. Okay. All right, well then we'll go ahead and get everything started.
Okay, Sassy.
So I'm going to start cutting. It's unfortunate because being a rare breed and the owner is very, very serious with breeding, it's unfortunate that this happened because this is a very nice cat. And now she will not be able to have any more litters, but getting this infection out will be good. So the good news is Dr. Lichtenberger and I discussed the case, and we came up with an antibiotic regimen that we think will be okay for the kittens if they get some in their system. It's never ideal, but we picked an antibiotic that'll be minimal. So then the mom cat can still nurse. That's always a good thing. Let them nurse as long as they can. Oh boy. Oh, we got a pile here. It's bigger than I thought it would be. It's a good thing we're doing this surgery. Well, you can see the one side is much larger over here, and then the other side is a little bit. So we're gonna take this infection out. So this is the broad ligament. I'm just gonna tie this off as well. It's all vascular, as you can see. We don't want this kitty bleeding. So the good thing is this side is not, doesn't seem to be as affected as bad as the other side. Cut in between. I don't want pus coming out of everything. So I'm just going to cut right in between here. And this is our spilled uterus. Good thing we went in and did this surgery and removed all this infection. So hopefully this kitty will do really well after the procedure, and we've got her on some good pain management to keep her comfortable, and I'm gonna go and call the owner.
So this is Wada. He or her is a little Goffin's Cockatoo. Mom presented today for kind of a wellness exam. She had a few concerns about him, but more seems to be behavioral than anything else. One of her concerns is that he's getting a little bitey, which we don't know his age at all, but if he's a younger bird and starting to mature, it can kind of be starting signs of behavioral problems, or that he's getting into the mating scheme of things. Or that he has a slew of other behavioral things going on, because with our parrots, our psittacine species, they're so smart and they need so much enrichment and care that it's easy for these guys to start having some behavioral problems. Some other problems with him is that she mentioned that he was throwing his food, which we talked to her about, saying it's probably normal for him. He is a playful little guy. He is pretty friendly. The only reason I'm actually holding him now is because he wants to perch on top of my head. So right now what we're gonna do is get him some radiographs, so x-rays of his whole body, and then we're gonna pull some blood on him for just some general wellness stuff.
Now we're going to put him under anesthesia. We try to get him down pretty quickly. So we have a mask on, and then we have gas anesthesia going into the mask. And they go down in probably a count of 25 seconds. Once their eyes close, we know that they're asleep enough. Let him get some heat support. He's now sleeping. So we're gonna take some blood first. We always take from the right jugular because that's the bigger vessel. So that's a jugular vessel. Good. We always want to work pretty quickly on a bird just because they can't be down very long. There is always a little bit of a danger keeping a bird under anesthesia for prolonged periods of time. This is a very short procedure, and this is a fairly healthy bird as far as we know. So we're just doing a health check right now. So now we're going to take her off of the heat. And for a very short period of time, we're going to get an x-ray. We put them on this plastic thing so that we can maneuver the bird back and forth without, because we have to tape her down to the x-ray table. So we don't have to move the table, we can move the plastic part. So she's perfectly set on the x-ray film, so it's beaming down right over her heart. And then the second one is with the bird on the side, the wings over the back. Everything has to be perfectly straight if you want to get a good picture, and then her legs have to be right on top of each other, perfectly straight, and the beam going right across her body. So this is the x-ray of the bird laying on her back. Her head is up here underneath the mask. Her wings are here and her legs are here. This is the chest and the abdomen. So we have the heart here and we have the abdomen here. It's supposed to be in an hourglass shadow. And so this is a perfect x-ray. It looks like a very healthy bird, and it's a health check, but it's good to know that there is no abnormalities with heart. Liver looks normal, intestines look normal. She has very good bone quality. So I would say that so far everything is looking really good. And then we'll run the blood work and make sure her blood cell count and all her liver, kidney values are all normal too.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Lucourt, professional baseball player. I'd like to thank Mecca, Dr. Lichtenberger for taking care of my dog Dash and helping him out with some immunization stuff. I'm honored to get such good medical care, and I'm proud to be part of the Mecca TV show.
Today's show was brought to you by Animal Fairy Charities, a premier organization focusing on animal welfare while teaching compassion to young children. For Pet's Sake Dog Training, Bichon and Little Buddies Rescue, and Camp Bow Wow, premier doggy day and overnight camps.